Gen Z, we are in a pre-man shortage, and I think we need to have this conversation. I think we need to talk about it.
I don't think I'm gay, but I feel like a lot of men are ugly. Like, let's be honest about this. Like, when you go outside or you go to a club, on a good day, you might see two genuinely attractive guys.
Damn. It must really suck to drive past me and think, wow, I need to get her number somehow.
Guys, me and my 15 personalities, we got together and we had a group meeting and we said no more pretty boys. Because those pretty boys be extra effeminate, extra sassy, extra into themselves. We want real men.
You marry or you date a medium ugly or just an ugly man, and then you let it breed you. And now your daughter's out here making TikToks talking about, I look like my dad, and she's like so butthurt about it because her dad is not nice to look at.
House cleaning before we get started. For those who are rocking with me from day one, I appreciate the support. For those who may be new here, coming in or out the door, for me, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, get it cracking in the comments. Everybody, your engagement absolutely helps promote your boy into the YouTube algorithm. I thank y'all for the support. Now, let's get to it. Drop the video. Let's go.
Gen Z, we are in a pre-man shortage, and I think we need to have this conversation. I think we need to talk about it. I can't remember the last time I saw even a cute guy in public.
Look, I think we live in a world, in particular on social media, because this stuff isn't reality, where you have a certain group of women who live in a bubble, and no one in their peer group, their friendship group, i.e. their girlfriends, have actually been honest with them and told them where they rank and fall on the beauty scale. A lot of women live in delusionment. They don't know exactly where they fall because they've never been told the harsh reality of truth. You're average, and some of you are very below average. But to make this insistence that there is a lack of pretty or attractive men in the world, when you're just an average looking woman, you're not winning any beauty contest, and I don't say that to be mean, and I'm not trying to bully. You're not going to be featured on any runway anytime soon. You're not going to be in any magazines or online ads. You're just an average looking girl. And to make these despicable types of content where you're attacking men who are average or maybe below average, where you actually fall yourself, is ridiculous. And I understand that people have the right to produce whatever content they like, but people also have the right to give you pushback. And that's exactly what happened with Kay is Tired. The original video, which is this one, I couldn't get because she made it private, because she got so much backlash from people telling her, hey, you're not so hot looking yourself. You may want to ease up on critiquing people this harshly. She then made that video private. She made a response claiming that this was just her way of saying men aren't putting effort into themselves. They're not dressing up. They're not taking the time to get their self groomed properly. And she since made that video private. Look, at the end of the day, I think people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, because at the end of the day, we all can look at you. We can look at you and tell that you ain't the one. But for some reason, we have a lot of feminists and misandrists online who actually hate men. This is why they produce this content, because this isn't normal behavior from normal women or healthy women, that loathe men and attack men from every angle, whether it be their manhood, masculinity, their looks, their height. It doesn't matter. They're just here to attack and create rage bait. And you're going to see as we continue.
I don't think I'm gay, but I feel like a lot of men are ugly. Like, let's be honest about this. Like, when you go outside or you go to a club, on a good day, you might see two genuinely attractive guys. And I mean generally, not like, oh, he's not ugly. I mean actually makes you do a double take. Genuinely attractive guys. But I promise y'all, if women held men to the same standards physically that men hold us, a lot of y'all would not make the cut. And y'all know y'all expectations are ridiculous. Like, let's be honest. Most girls just say they want someone a little bit taller than them, and y'all act like that's such a big ass. But y'all be wanting big booty Judies, constant bundles in the hair, lashes done, big lips, slim thick, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And you don't even really have what you're asking for. Everyone's like, Lord, if you want to build your roster up, just go outside. Why are y'all sitting here acting like there's just so many options of attractive men outside? And then the ones that are attractive be attractive until they start talking.
I'll say it again. Misandrists thrive on social media. 90% of people are average looking people, including yourself, because you're not winning any beauty contests. And I keep saying this, I'm not trying to bully or be mean, but this is a pretty average looking woman. She might be slightly above average when she puts on makeup or get herself dressed up or dolled up, but she's still not winning beauty contests. End of story. And for them to produce this content, I find quite absurd. And I think it comes from other women not being honest with other women, because y'all can't. Because if you tell her that, hey, yes, if you put a little effort in yourself, you become slightly above average, but you're not winning any beauty contests, then you won't be friends. She'll think you're being mean. You'll think you're hating on her. But the truth is, ma'am, y'all look at a very small percentage of attractive men. And of course, they're not going to be huge swaths of overly attractive men, but they're not huge swaths of overly attractive women as well. 90% of the human race is average or below it. And that goes with looks, achievements, a status in life, whatever it may be. 90% of the world is average, and you're average, ma'am. But I keep saying this. There's no shortage of misandrists online producing hateful and bitter content aimed at men simply because the men that they actually desire don't desire them, and they're not getting the results in the dating market that they actually want. So they attack all men because the men they desire ain't giving them the time of day.
Damn. It must really suck to drive past me and think, wow, I need to get her number somehow, even though we're on the freeway. And then to see me acknowledge you, roll my window down and smile, and then speed off. Because you've already shown me you don't care about my safety. Why am I giving you my number? Bye.
Hilarious. At first I thought this was like Kerry Washington, but I had to watch the video to realize that it wasn't. But I get it. This was a funny video, and I'm not going to be too hard on her. But I also think this is also indicative how some women think. They think that they're that girl, and that if you're not going out of your way to make pathways to show them that you deserve to be in their life, they don't see you. And I get it. You know, don't get me wrong. Don't no one come in my comments. I know this was done out of fun, and I know she wasn't being serious. I put this particular video in here just for a little enlightenment to some of the things that if you go to her comments, you'll see women saying, yeah, a man that doesn't care about your safety is not a guy that can holler at me. But you're on the freeway rolling your window down to get someone attention. You're trying to catch someone's eye, and then you're saying like, my safety isn't your concern, but you're the one with your window down on the interstate trying to catch attention. Who isn't concerned about their own safety, ma'am? You are the person you're trying to catch the attention from. I'm just asking.
Guys, me and my 15 personalities, we got together and we had a group meeting, and we said no more pretty boys. Because those pretty boys be extra effeminate, extra sassy, extra into themselves. We want real men, not people that care about their appearance on that kind of level. Like, I'm over it. I'm over it. I know I said no more athletes and all of that stuff, blah, blah, blah. I'm still sticking with it. A little bit. I don't know. But you can find like normal athletes, I suppose. I didn't say what kind, but I'm just saying no more pretty boys. Because it's just not the lick. They're all too sassy for me. They're all too feminine. And it's making me sick. It's making me absolutely sick. Because then there can't be two girls in the relationship. Do you know what I'm saying? I've just got to learn from my previous mistakes. Okay?
I think you have a conflict of interest. You want men who are pretty boys, quote unquote pretty boys, but you don't want to deal with the woes and angst that comes with it. Like, these men have options, and they're going to let you know that you are an option, just like you'll let them know they're an option. I think it's equal footing, and I'll say this more than one time, especially about you heifers on social media. They want the advantage in the relationship. They don't want it to reflect egalitarianism. They don't want to be on equal footing with the men they're in relationships with. They want an advantage of privilege. In other words, like she said, it can't be two girls in a relationship. In other words, sassy. So women like herself don't like reciprocity in the relationship. She doesn't like when men have boundaries and standards. She doesn't like when men have prerequisites to be in relationship with them, i.e., you have to bring something to the table. I know it's a dirty phrase, and a lot of you ladies don't like it, but it's the truth. Those pretty boys that you like know that they are handsome. They know that they can exercise options and you can be dropped and another one can be picked up, just like you can exercise options and do the same thing to him. It's an even footing. You want a guy that worships you. Let's be honest here. You want a guy that sees you as a goddess, something that he should be overjoyed to have because he couldn't attain you unless he had whatever it takes to get you. You want pure and utter worship, right? You want utter worship. And I think when you get with a guy who's equally on the scale of attractiveness as you are, then it becomes a competition thing because now you know you have to bring something to this table that this guy also brings, and it has to be on equal footing. And you ladies, like yourself, not women in reality, because this is social media nonsense here, not social media prattle. You don't like it. And so now you want to go and date men that you don't consider pretty boys and then do them like what? Treat them any kind of way because they're not quote unquote the pretty guys. Y'all cannot have it all, ladies. You cannot have it all. You want the pretty boys, they're going to come with certain things. You want guys with money, they're going to come with certain things. You want guys that worship you, when they're going to come with things that you're not going to necessarily respect. You know, a guy that you can walk all over and be a doormat, you're not going to respect him and you're not going to want to be in a relationship with him either, even if he's not a quote unquote pretty boy. Because women, for some reason, particularly the women on social media, believe the fantasy that they can in fact have it all. And you can't. There's pros and cons to every single different type of person you may try to date. No one is perfect and neither are you.
You marry or you date a medium ugly or just an ugly man, and then you let it breed you. And now your daughter's out here making TikToks talking about, I look like my dad. And she's like so butthurt about it because her dad is not nice to look at. I've always said I'll never let a man that isn't pretty breed me. I love pretty men. I've always loved pretty men. Like, if I'm ever talking to a guy that's shocked, it's because I'm getting something out of it. And it's not to do with his looks, okay? I remember I said it on live, and a bunch of old men were like, you'll change your mind when you're older. No. I'm always going to love young, pretty men. Like from like 24 to 28, that age range, they will always be top tier to me. And if I marry one of them and have a kid with it, or someone says, wow, you look like your dad, it's not going to be an insult to my baby girl because her dad is pretty as fuck.
I watched this a couple of times, and every time I watched it, I got more and more angry because this woman clearly doesn't see men as human beings, right? She's the type of female that will say that men are misogynistic. Men don't see women as nothing more than objects. But you reflect that same value in your nonsensical content. I've never heard it said that women look like their fathers. In certain aspects and certain characteristics, sure. But overall, most women tend to reflect their mother's image, not their father's. So that lets me know there's something wrong with you. And I think you were trying to do mental gymnastics and try to just come up with a justification to this, like just diss 90% of the men walking, because that's just what you wanted to do, because you're a hateful person. And I've said this a number of times. You really can't tell the difference between white supremacy and misandry. It's all in the same vein. If you remove the race aspect of white supremacy, then you get misandry, because it sounds exactly like bigotry. And I know y'all are really wondering, how do I know she's a misandrist? Well, she's a self-proclaimed misandrist, because even in her comments, she said this, and I'll pull it up on the screen for you. This is what she thinks of men. Here it is. Is this the female incel side of TikTok? And she's the creator, misandrist. I've told y'all a number of times, misandrists cannot keep their legs closed. They loathe and hate men, but they also love to have, with men. They can't keep their legs closed. This woman is just nothing more than another example of a bitter, broken, dysfunctional misandrist masquerading as a person giving out advice to women to who not to procreate with. She sounds utterly insane. Y'all gotta stop listening to people like this, because I've told y'all something is wrong with these people that get on social media and produce this content. They're not normal. Stop treating them as normal people, because they are not. There's something wrong with them. They need to be therapized. And I'm telling y'all, if you go to social media and you continue to intake this type of content over and over again, then you're going to be just as bitter, dysfunctional, and lonely as they are. Because loneliness loves company, and they're looking for extra riders on the loneliness train. That's all I got, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Get it cracking in the comments. I see y'all in the credits. 2 fingers. Peace. I'm out. Catch y'all in the next one. Black Jesus.
You think that what we're fighting about is stupid. Just cause you don't agree don't mean it's stupid. Lately communication feels so useless.